Hey, hello everybody. Good evening and good afternoon, depending on where you're coming in from. So you can see on the slide that I've got there, I'm just actually saying while people are coming in, because you know what it's like, they start connecting around about 8 o'clock and it takes a little while for their system to kick in. So we've got more people coming in. I can see things are whirring away this end. And like I say, good evening and good afternoon, depending on where you are. So while we're waiting, just put in the chat where you are coming in from. Hi, Solera, lovely to see you. Hi, Fatimol, lovely to see you. Kristin, Darlene, I can see a few of you here. So thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see you. Haven't seen you for a while, Solera. How are you? I hope you're well. So do put in the chat where you are from. Can you all hear me okay? That's the important thing. So Jen, I'm from the UK, but live in New Zealand now. So it's the morning. I'm a health and fitness coach. I help women scrap the scales and fit fitness into their lives. I love that. I love that, Jen. So whereabouts in the UK are you from? I'm actually from, dare I say, Essex originally, although I don't call myself an Essex girl because I was actually born in Hertfordshire. Anyone from the UK will understand that. Hi, Darlene in Portland, Oregon. Lovely to see you. So, Darlene, put also in the chat, what is your business and who is your ideal client as well? It's all really interesting and it's good to share the information with one another as well. So let me know. Hi, Solera. Are you still in Wales? You're still in Wales. Okay, let's have a look. Originally from Carlisle, Cumbria. Ah, yes, yeah. I'll tell you a little bit about myself later, but I did a house sit in near Carlisle. That was the biggest major city, and it was a little village called Wigton. Don't know if you've ever heard of that. Solera, great. Hi, yep, still in Wales. Okay, so let me know, those of you that haven't typed it in, what is your business and who is your ideal client? What is it that you do? Are you a coach, consultant, network marketer? What is your line of business and who is your ideal client? Who do you best serve? Oh, that's crazy, Jen. Seriously, that's where your brother and sister-in-law live. Oh, that's crazy. Wouldn't that be funny if I actually house sat for them? Honestly, I tell you what, I was on a networking event yesterday and I was chatting away on this networking event. It was just like a typing chat thing. And the girl that I was chatting with, we established where each other was from, but we established where each other was right now, because I'm in Spain, even though I'm from the UK, I'm in Spain right now. She was also in Spain, and you wouldn't believe it, but we're literally 20 minutes down the road. And she was the only person that I connected with during that time on this particular networking event. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So needless to say, we are actually going to meet, which is fantastic. I'm near Valencia in Spain. So let me know what it is that you do and who you best serve. So a few more people are coming in. I am going to get started now. So I will start the presentation right now. So if you've got any questions at all during this particular session, then do put it in the chat. I am going to get you to do some work as well today. So this is a true masterclass where you will actually get something done. So I'm going to make sure that you're all in the right place. And this is the Grow Your Business Beyond Social Media masterclass. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 3 proven strategies for growing your business without relying on social media. And do me a favor, let's actually be real vulnerable here, because I must admit, I'm a bit over social media. I think it has its place. I really, really do. And I'll tell you why I think it has its place a bit later on. But to be honest, we are against so much, what with the algorithm, what with groups not being seen so much, what with Instagram changing who it allows to see your posts. Every sort of level of social media has more control over us than we ever really anticipated. So just be honest, how does everyone feel about using social media? And let's just be honest with one another. All right, so Jen, just go back on some of the things that you've put here, which is brilliant. Thank you very much for participating. Participating in any of these masterclasses is always going to be better for you. And actually, it really helps me out because it makes me feel like I've actually got people there and talking to them. So Jen, my ideal client is a woman who is 30 plus. She is busy working full time and has children and or fur babies. They enjoy socializing with their friends, eating out and having a few alcoholic drinks from time to time. They have been stuck in yo-yo dieting culture and have low body confidence. They think they have to go to the gym to work out, but don't necessarily have the time to go and don't really enjoy it. They are ready to feel healthier, have more energy and enjoy food guilt-free. I like that. I like that. I could definitely be in that criteria for sure. Darlene, I have 2 friends from around the world who live in Valencia right now. You're kidding, Darlene. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, the world has definitely got so much smaller for me in the last 10 years. I know people from all over the world, and that's exactly where I am, Valencia. I'm about 25 minutes inland from Valencia itself. So that's crazy. Right, Darlene, you are Indigo Healings, supporting energy healers and way showers to step out of their fears and doubts into their amazing potency for healing the planet. Ideal client is someone ready to explore their gifts and guiding them into the hows and whats. I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's have a look. All right, so I think I've caught up. Remember, do participate. So, Darlene, I enjoy social media if I limit my time online, mostly Facebook, where I've created amazing connections. That's fantastic. In fact, I've created so many amazing connections on Facebook. Some of the people that I've connected with, I have ended up doing incredible business with them, and I've never actually met them in person. And it really is incredible. I remember like 12 years ago when I was first online, I went to an event. It was at the Excel in London, and I went to an event. I think it was was it Tony Robbins? No, it wasn't. It was a Robert Kiyosaki event. And I was walking in the foyer and I was walking along, and some guy, he went, Sonny. And I turned around and I went, Sam. And we had never met each other offline before, but we recognized one another because we'd been communicating on Facebook. And I have actually met some incredible friends. I will tell you another story a little bit later on. I am a bit of a storyteller, but I won't bore you too much. Right, so let's crack on. I will be asking you questions from time to time, but today I'm going to show you how you can make the optimum move from struggling to grow your audience with social media to creating real connections with other business owners that are open to listening to your offer without judgment, without defense, and without you feeling salesy. I will also take you from the frustration of constantly creating, posting, being ghosted, to feeling appreciated, having a sense of belonging, and loving being online. Now, wouldn't you all like that? Because, I mean, social media, it really does. Honestly, it has its place. For sure, it has its place. So please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. We need social media. We want to use it. But unfortunately, a lot of business owners that are in the online space now are so heavily reliant on social media that they've kind of lost their way. They think it is the only way to actually build and develop their business. And unfortunately, many business owners that came online during the pandemic are now disappearing because they're seeing these sort of bright, shiny objects, and they're seeing that all they have to do is post a picture or an attraction marketing post or a long story or a short story or a reel or something like that. And that's, somehow magically going to get them business. But they forget the fundamental part about that. And the part is that they really do need to build those connections. So social media is just a small part of it. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. You've obviously come here because you want to find other ways in connecting with people. So Darlene, I like a balance and would like not to have to rely on several platforms is essential. Yes, several platforms is essential, but it's not absolutely vital because there are other ways of doing it, which I will talk to you about as well. So those of you that have joined late, please let us know where you're coming in from, what is your business, and who do you serve? Okay, so keep the chat going, and if you've got any questions, and even questions for each other, so let me know. All right, now I've got a little bonus for you. It's plan your next 90 days for profit and success. One of the things that I'm very strong on is actually planning out your time effectively so that you can maximize your time on social media and in the online space. So if you stay to the end, then that's the gift that I will be giving to you. And may I ask that you switch off all distractions? Now, I know that all of us don't tend to switch off our phone, but I do know how easy it is to go onto the phone while we're trying to listen to something like this. And the brain can only take in 20% of information at any one time. So I'd really love it if you spent that 20% with me. That would be absolutely wonderful. I am a teacher of adults, and I'm very aware that it's very easy to get so distracted with social media, would you believe? So by the end of the masterclass, you will discover how to connect to a wider audience and generate leads without necessarily needing to use social media. So Jen, I may need to jump off before the end as I have a live training with my clients in 45 minutes. I might actually be finished before you have to leave. It's not a huge long one, and it's certainly not going to be a 90-minute drawn out affair, but don't worry, Jen, I will send you the recording for it, and thank you for letting me know. I do appreciate that very much. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of a party first. And one of the things that I am very, very keen on is to plan your time. So every online business owner knows that they often run out of time. You know how you kind of think to yourself, oh, I'll just put up a quick post here. And that post tends to take longer than you anticipate. In fact, one of my clients today, she was saying to me, I've got all my social media posts ready, but I haven't actually posted them yet. And she'd had them ready for about a week. So I asked her, why haven't you posted them? She said, well, I don't know whether they're right or not. And the only way of actually knowing is by putting them out, getting them out there. And we know that there is only so much time, so much of it in a day, the time element. That's why it's crucial to spend time doing the tasks and activities that will bring you closer to your goals. And one of the things about social media, and again, please don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. It sounds like I am, but I really don't mean to be knocking it. It's just that it is one part of the whole of the business strategy. And I've been in business for over 30 years and used many, many different strategies. And I know that social media, I have even run a social media marketing company in the past. And so when I ran that business, social media, is not the same now as it was then. It's very, very different. All right, so plan your time. Now, how to achieve your goals in a 10-minute planning party. Now, it's not going to take us 10 minutes today, but what my suggestion is that you could set aside 10 minutes at the beginning of the week, or I like to do this on Sundays, actually. Now, if you're pretty well organized like I am, I do tend to be quite organized, is I will have obviously my yearly goals, my quarterly goals, and then I will break that down into monthly goals. And every single week I will look at those monthly goals. I will see what I've achieved the week or the month before, and I will plan out what it is that I really, really want to achieve this week. All right, so this coming week. So what we're going to do is we're going to just play a little game. So are you willing to play along with me? Just put yes in the chat. That would be awesome. All right, what I'd like you to do is grab a pen and a piece of paper. So put those phones down and come back to me so that you can play along with us. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is just imagine that this is Sunday and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, I've had my Sunday lunch. I've spent time with the family. Now I'm just going to spend 10 minutes getting myself organized for the week ahead. So how do we get organized for the week ahead? Well, the first thing, before we even look at our calendar, before we even look at our diary, is that we want to know what we want to achieve by the end of that week. So what I would like you to do is write down the goal that you want to achieve either in the next week or in the next 30 days. So if it feels better for you to actually look at the goal for the next 30 days. Now, that could be a revenue goal. It could be a group growth goal. It could be an email list growth goal, which ultimately would lead to a revenue goal as well. And if you're willing to, also share that in the chat with us. I mean, you can even make this up, but just give it a little bit of thought. What would be your goal for the next week, or so for the next 7 days or for the next 30 days. It's entirely up to you which one you would like to use. And then put that in the chat if you are willing to share, and we're all friends here. So, so from this point forward, we're all friends. Okay, so Jen, thank you for sharing. I want to achieve setting up an automation for a free trial of my Scrap the Scales membership. I want to achieve setting up an automation. Fantastic. And is that in the next 7 days or in the next month? Let me know. Okay, so let's just update that because we've got some more people coming in as we talk. All right, so for the rest of you, do actually share in the chat as well. That would be very good. All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to write down the one product or service that you are going to sell or promote in order for you to get to that goal. All right, and again, you can write this down. So for you, Jen, that would be your Scrap the Scales membership. You want to actually get to that point where you are selling Scrap the Scales membership. Okay. Now, we do have to sometimes do those foundational things as well, so that's okay. Now, your catalog or your thing that you are promoting or selling could be a course, membership, a consulting situation, a coaching program, or a physical product. All right, so let me know what that would be. What would be your product that you would want to sell in the next 7 days or the next 30 days? Okay, and again, put that in the chat. So the next part of this is I want you to grab your calculator and I want you to divide the price of your product or service by the total goal. Now, what this will do is obviously, now, I don't want to make any assumptions because not everybody does this, but this is fundamental to your business progress. When you really know what your goals are, when you really know how many of something that you want to sell in order to achieve your goals, then you start to be really super laser focused. So I'm not going to make any assumptions that you do it or you don't do it, but this will actually help you moving forward. So get your calculator, divide the price of your product or service by the total goal, and that will tell you how many of your product or service you need to sell in order to achieve your goal. Okay, so that calculation of your course, consultation, your membership, your coaching sessions, your physical product, this will give you the total amount. Now, if you do nothing else from this masterclass, if you do this once a week, you will always stay on track to your goals. Okay, so now take a moment to reflect back on your last month and ask yourself, and you don't particularly have to share this in the chat, you can if you want to. Now reflect back on the last month and ask yourself, did you achieve last month's goals? What did you do in order to achieve it? So what were the activities that you did? Did you post on social media? Did you send direct messages? Did you send emails? Did you write blog posts that got traffic to your website? Did you sell it from your website? Did you network? How did you connect with other people? What did you do? And write down what that one thing was that brought you in the most level of connections, leads, or actual orders. And then you ask yourself the question, should you be doing the same or something different? Because when you really analyze this, when you look at it and you say, well, actually, I was busy posting on social media. How much business did that get in for me? I've got some great connections, but have I actually gained any business from that? And the answer is no. Then you have to change your strategy slightly, and don't leave it too long before you change your strategy. I know a lot of people will say consistently. All right, so let's have a look. Weirdly, I did this yesterday. 63 members per month for Scrap the Sales, 16 per month upgrade, for your workout plan, 5 per month on my Fit Forever one-to-one coaching. Fantastic. How weird is that you did this yesterday as well? All right, so I've got a question for you. And again, question for you to put in the chat. There's a few questions here. All right, so the first question is, what is your main marketing activity currently? Okay, so again, put that in the chat. So it's, I don't know whether some of you are not responding because I'm not seeing your chats come through. If you, and when you're active on this, they'll come through. I'll see your responses, and it actually will help me address, your questions as we go along. So the questions are, what is your current main marketing activity? Or do you have many marketing activities, which is fine. Now, and let's be honest, we're all friends here. Do you feel organized or scattered in your approach? So are you organized and strategic, or are you scattered in your approach? Do you have any structure around that? Okay, so I offered a fun game to play on Facebook and offered a 20-minute free session if they answered. From that post, I had 4 people not only schedule a free session, they scheduled a monthly healing session. That's brilliant. That's fantastic. And it is about finding different ways of engaging with individuals. And I think that that's a brilliant way to do that. Main marketing activity is Facebook, lead generation, Facebook group, free 5-day challenge on Facebook. Fantastic. Okay, excellent. All right, so keep putting your answers down, and I'll always read out your answers as well, because I want you to feel like you're being seen, and I want you to feel that you're being heard by me actually responding to your answers. I'm usually organized and strategic, but I have been emigrating, so not been so recently, but finally settling in our house now, so I'm ready to get back. Oh, right, so you just recently moved to New Zealand, was that? Fantastic. All righty, so I have another question for you. What is the biggest challenge you currently have growing your business? So what is the biggest challenge you currently have growing your business? And it could be anything like finding leads, knowing who your ideal client is, not having enough time, perhaps spending time doing something that's not bringing in results and not knowing what else to do. Again, we're all friends here, so let's just be honest and share in the chat. Like I say, it's a safe place, a safe space, and it'll be really good to know exactly how you're feeling. All right. So let's have a look. Kristen, thank you. Oh, Kirsten, I hope I'm saying that right. Facebook. So Facebook is your main marketing area. You feel scattered. Attending my first in-person conference in a few months. Fantastic. So with the in-person conference, be prepared, really network, talk to people, individuals. Some won't lead to anywhere and some will. And, both are okay. Absolutely fine. All right, so Darlene, I'm definitely scattered in my approach. Haven't yet found the one that works consistently. Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? And I think sometimes what happens is we try out a strategy and there's not much in the way of results. So we try something else, and we try it in the spur of the moment rather than planning it out. So if you can plan it out better. Okay, so bringing in new and good quality leads. Yeah, it's always a challenge, isn't it? It's actually a real big challenge, bringing in the new good quality leads. Challenges are consistency and automation. Brilliant. It's great to know. It's great to know all those things. Thank you for your feedback. All right, I'm going to just take a quick sip. Now, there's one of perhaps 3 reasons why you're here. And, I can't be certain exactly why you're here, but because I've run these presentations a few times, I've got a really good idea, and I tend to know who I'm working with really, really well. So I do appreciate you being here. It means so much to me that you're actually here. Now, one of the reasons could be that you are actually fed up with creating great content. You're posting it on social media and it is not being seen because of an awareness of oversaturation of your niche. And, it could be that you are some kind of coach or consultant, and there is a huge oversaturation in your niche. So it's like you're trying to find that key ingredient that will really make you stand out above the noise. All right. So that's one reason that you may actually be here. Now, reason two is it could be that whilst you enjoy social media, and I actually enjoy social media, I am the queen of communication. I love communicating in all sorts of different ways, not least of which because I'm a Gemini and my ruling planet is Mercury. And the second reason for that is that in my human design, I'm a manifester, and we are communicators. We inform. We want people to know. I could walk out this door and I'd have to let the whole room know, oh, I'm just popping to the toilet. And really, who cares? It's just, bleh, I let them know. I don't need permission, but I just let people know, which is hilarious, really. So the second reason that you could be here is because you do enjoy social media, but you are aware that the algorithm constantly changes and it's tiring to keep up with the changes. And I know you'll hear this noise all the time. Lots of coaches, consultants, mentors will talk about beating the algorithm, trying to not use words that may trigger the algorithm of not allowing your posts to be seen. And oh my word, it goes on, doesn't it? It just goes on. The third reason that you might be here is that you're feeling that you're posting on social media and you've got to that stage where you've done it quite a lot and you feel that it's a waste of time. Now, every now and again, you might get a sudden burst of activity. You might get a flood of people that are coming over to your profile or to your LinkedIn or to your Instagram. You might get a flood of those people, but it's not consistent. And you just feel there must be a better way than this. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that I speak to, both my colleagues, my business partners, my clients, my customers, they will share with me that it's causing a sense of depression. They're feeling devalued, they feel isolation, and they actually end up feeling a sense of failure, that it's their fault somehow, that they're not quite getting the right words together, that they're not doing it at the right time, that they haven't got the right ideal audience. And again, we overthink this and we end up giving ourselves a bit of a headache, to say the least. Now, what I'd like you to do is to share with me in the chat, which reason are you here for? Now, it could be a mixture of all three. So one, you're really fed up with creating content, posting on social media and it not being seen. Number two, you enjoy social media, but you're aware that the algorithm constantly changes and you're trying to keep on top of that trend. Number three, you're feeling that posting on social media is a waste of time and it's actually getting you a bit down now. And just be honest, are you one, two, or three, or a mixture of all three? So Jen, you're a Gemini, yay. Gemini, challenges and consistency and all. Oh, I've read that one. All right, so also Gemini, I'm a projector. Oh, fantastic. I love this whole new human design. It's fantastic. All right, so again, put in the chat. So I've got a mixture of 2 and 3. I've got a 1. I've got all 3. So yeah, just share with me in the chat what you think, what you're feeling about it, or write your own reason. You can quite easily write your own reason in there as well. And I'll see those coming through. All right. Now, to be honest with you, whatever your reason, whatever the reason is that you are here, I fully support you. I support you 100%. And I can see that you are in exactly the right place at exactly the right time for me to share the information that I'm going to share with you. Before I do that, I'm not going to indulge too much, but here's just a few snapshots of me and my now husband. I got married last week in Gibraltar. We literally decided the Thursday before we got married, and we ended up getting married on the Tuesday following the Thursday. It was an absolute ride, and I am now Mrs. Statari, and this is my Italian stallion husband. I always call him my Italian stallion. His name is Rock, and he really is my rock. He's absolutely wonderful. You can see that a lot of these pictures look like somewhere where we're amazing and exotic, or pissing down with rain, to be honest. but we are actually traveling. We're digital nomads, and I've been a digital nomad for over 9 years, and we've been traveling together for 4 years. 4 years in 2 days, actually, we've been traveling, albeit that we actually ended up getting locked down for 2 years, of course, in one place. However, we actually love our lifestyle. Our business actually enables us to travel the world. And like I say, we're currently in Valencia, Spain, and next week we travel to Barcelona for the day. Then we travel on to France, and then we spend 2 days in France, and then we go over to Cyprus for 3 months. So that's all because one of my biggest dreams was to travel. And when I had my previous business, which I'll tell you about in a second, when I had my previous business, I really couldn't get around because I was so committed to my business and so busy in my offline business. So as you can see here, I've also been in business for 30 years and in the online space for, it says there 10 years. I've got to update that slide because it's over 10 years. It's about 12 years. I started before Instagram was a thing and before TikTok was certainly a thing. The first business that I had was a network marketing company, which in those days, over 30 years ago, was called a party plan company. And I literally went round door to door, knocking on the doors and finding out if people would like to have cosmetic and skincare parties. I actually ended up I've done all sorts of things. I've sold pottery, I've sold skincare and makeup. And then I ran a multi-million-pound IT training company with 30 staff, which went really well. I then went on to creating a social media marketing company, a webinar training company. And now I run a business that actually teaches people how to be location independent entrepreneurs, amongst other things, which I shall tell you about later. Now, we looked at those reasons, and I just want to express these reasons a bit more. Thank you for the congratulations, by the way, and I can see that the chat is taking a little while to load, so thank you for saying that as well. All right, so the oversaturation, let's talk about that a bit. So social media can actually be a very crowded space. Many businesses are vying for attention from the same audience. This can lead to a sense of oversaturation with too many similar messages and promotions competing for the same limited attention span. As a result, it can become increasingly difficult to stand out and make an impact. So if you were reason number one, that's just actually expanding on that reason a little bit for you as well. Now, reason number two, the algorithm changes. Social media algorithms are constantly changing, and what works today may not work tomorrow. And it can be frustrating and time consuming for entrepreneurs who need to keep up with the latest trends and best practices in order to remain relevant and visible on social media platforms. And this is so frustrating because you don't know when it's going to change. Suddenly you'll put something out and, like I say, you'll get a flood of people coming in and thinking that the post is amazing. And then you'll do something else that's very similar and nothing. It'll be like tumbleweed going across your social media platform. And then you'll try and think of other creative ideas. Do I do a challenge? Do I do a launch? Do I do a summit? Do I collaborate? What do I do? You know, what's next? So it can be very, very frustrating. And the one thing that I don't like about it is it takes the control away from us as business owners. That's the one thing that having an offline business, back in the day, by the way, showing my age, back in the day before we had social media, we just honestly, we had to walk the streets and knock on doors to get business. I remember when I ran my IT training company, I had to pick up the phone, the actual telephone, landline, and call people and find out if they were in the market for receiving IT training. So my company used to teach Microsoft products, and in those days, WordPerfect, CorelDRAW, all sorts of things. Like I say, I had 30 trainers that would go out, but I had to generate the business, and that was down to me to generate the business. So reason number three is your limited reach, and social media is absolutely a powerful tool for reaching a wide audience. It also has its limitations, as I've expressed. For example, it may not be the most effective way to reach a specific target market or to build deeper relationships with existing customers.
Additionally, some people may choose to limit their social media use or avoid it altogether. I know a lot of people, they take social media breaks. It does mean that a business that relies solely on social media may be missing out on potential customers who prefer other channels of communication. And these days, I'm coming across more and more people who, for instance, when I say to them that, yeah, I support you through a Facebook group, for instance, they'll say, well, I don't use Facebook. I say, okay, well, do you use LinkedIn? No, I don't use LinkedIn. So they don't use a number of the channels that we're familiar with using over the past 10 to 12 years. So we need to pivot. We need to be adaptable, and we need to adapt the businesses that we're running so that we can actually reach more people. So can you imagine what it would feel like if you could jump online, you could communicate, work with, collaborate, generate leads without constantly posting, and spend more time doing what you love rather than that constant wheel of creating, coming up with new ideas, posting, ghosting, and it becoming a little bit sad and frustration. But can you imagine if you could actually be involved with a group of people that are looking for the same thing that you're looking for, that are looking for the business that you've got, that are looking for the products that you've got, the services that you offer? Can you imagine if they were all there to hand, straight away, and you can communicate them at a much, much deeper level? Give me a yes in the chat if you agree with that one. So I'm just going to check out the chat for us. Okay, so I'll check it again in a minute when you put a yes in the chat. Okie dokie. All right, so one of the new things that's happening are that people are absolutely craving to be part of a community. And I don't mean a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or to be on another social media platform. What I mean is to actually belong to a community of individuals that is not solely reliant on social media. So being part of a community is the single most powerful and strategic way to grow your business, to impact many, whilst creating a level of income that can, quite frankly, be life-changing. So, are you up for it? First of all, I want to share with you 6 alternative and highly effective strategies, and then I'm going to go into detail about 3 of those strategies. I promised you that I would give you 3 new strategies that you can actually implement tomorrow when you go back online. So, the 6 highly effective and proven strategies. Networking is one of those. So, networking offline and online. So there are many, many opportunities where you can actually network with others. And I don't mean just going into Facebook groups and networking in Facebook groups. I mean actually going to a networking event, actually talking to people. And some of those networking events can be very daunting. They can actually be a little bit uncomfortable, but if they're done in the right way, they can actually prove to be highly, highly effective. There's also co-working and brainstorming. So if you find yourselves a community where you can actually work with others strategically, that can help one another, it's almost like having a coach available to you without paying the price of an expensive coach. When you're brainstorming or masterminding, you can actually mastermind with a whole group of people. And accountability. Now, accountability, would you believe, actually gives you leads in your business as well. There's email marketing, of course, and one of the things that I highly, highly recommend is to ensure that whatever you do, whatever strategy you follow, everything leads to your email list. Without that, you will actually find yourselves constantly trying to get new leads all the time, and it can wear you out. And I'm speaking from experience here, because one of the things that I didn't do in the early days is I didn't actually either understand or hold much credence to the power of an email marketing list. So it's really, really important to create your own
list so that you can actually email market to them. There's referral marketing as well. Now, referral marketing, the greatest way to ever have an introduction to a potential client is via someone else, because it's like going to a restaurant and having a fantastic meal, and then you go out and you see someone that you know and you tell them, I have just had a brilliant meal in that restaurant. Not only was the food great, the service was excellent, and the price was really good. They would absolutely go and use that restaurant, won't they? Now, that's the same when someone can refer you. So, for instance, if I was to say, if you want to actually ditch the diet and you want to start losing weight, then you really do need to speak to my friend. So you need to, when you can recommend people, when you refer them, then you are going to get better business. And content marketing, of course, is also a strategy to follow. Now, what we mean by content marketing is that you either create a blog or a podcast or a video show. And I would still recommend that you have one of those three things that is your one go-to thing that you create each week. So, for instance, from a blog, you can create all of your social media posts and all of your, you can have your lead magnet there, so that actually generates new leads onto your list. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to, in fact, tell me in the chat, out of those 6 highly effective and proven strategies, which ones do you use? So again, I'll just check. And thank you for giving me the yeses on that previous question as well. And I will glance up and see what your responses are to these proven strategies. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on 3 of those. And these are the 3 that are most effective. And the weird thing is, out of these 3 will lead to the other 3 every single time. Every single time. All right, so let's look at that. So your new strategy number 1 is, first of all, accountability. Now, accountability sounds a bit weird. Well, how do I generate leads through accountability? Well, first of all, let's talk about what accountability does for you. It improves your focus and your discipline, because one of the things about being an entrepreneur and maybe working from home on your own in isolation is that your focus can get somewhat distracted. It might be distracted with the pets, the children, the cleaning up, the washing, maybe the TV, maybe you've got a favorite soap, something you've got a binge on Netflix, something like that. So your focus and your discipline can be somewhat a bit shaky every now and again. And if we think about one's aura, and our chakras, if you like, that can become a little bit wobbly when we are working on our own all the time. So accountability also gives us greater motivation to achieve our goals, because you're answerable to someone else or to a group of people. It gives you an increased sense of responsibility and ownership over progress and results. So again, when you share what it is that you're trying to achieve, you then become very responsible and own that particular task, or you own that particular goal. And it gives you the ability to identify and address any obstacles and challenges that you might come across as well. And of course, being accountable to someone or to some people will then enable you to get some feedback on those obstacles and challenges. And one of the things I really love is to always gain better self-awareness, as it were, and a better understanding of what your own strengths and weaknesses are. And I remember back in the day, they used to do a SWOT analysis, what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And they used to say, right, now you know what your weaknesses are, build on your weaknesses. Well, I don't agree with that. I think that if you've got a weakness, you actually look to find someone that can fill that gap for you. Now, when you do this with a coach, that's brilliant. But when you can do this with a community, you create connections with the community that you're working with. And those connections understand you better, and they will reach out to you and they will talk to you about what it is that you're trying to achieve. So it means that your communication is at a much higher level, your connection is at a much greater level as well. And that person or people that you are sharing your accountability with, and they are sharing it with you, means that, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, means that that it's likely that you'll end up doing business with one another, or you'll be able to refer one another. So you see that without even trying, you've already got someone that you could potentially do business with, or they could help you, or they can refer you. So thanks for popping up your answers here. Co-working, accountability and email marketing, content marketing. I love it. Thanks, Jen. All right, so strategy number 2 is virtual co-working. Or you could be going to a co-working space like an office. Now, I used to actually do this myself. When I ran my Hotkeys training business, which was the IT training company, I used to do something called hot desking. Hot desk, yes. Hot, and it was called the hot office. That's right. So I used to go to an office just so that I can have company, so that I could feel that I was with other people. And it proved to be quite good, although, you know, walking into that space was always a little bit intimidating, to be fair, because even though I'm doing this presentation, I can sometimes be quite shy, quite introverted, but a lot of the time I'm quite extrovert. So I am what they call an ambivert. So I go between the two. You know, sometimes I can be like the life and soul of the party, and sometimes I just want to retreat into myself. And that's just me being absolutely honest. Okay, so the virtual co-working. So Darlene, I see here that you put, I love that idea, community rather than coaching container. Absolutely, it's a community. So virtual co-working. So when we're working from home or we're working online, again, it can be very isolating. But if you have the opportunity, and there are some, you know, there's some communities that will offer this. If you can get to a space where you can actually work with individuals, so you can switch on your screen and you can see other people working, and you can share with them what you're working on, and they can share it with you, and you can kind of discuss it, talk about it. You know what it's like, you know, when we all used to work in offices and we used to beaver away working on our jobs and tasks, and then every now and again we'd sort of raise our head up, we'd wave to the person down the end of the office. It's the same sort of thing. If you've got those people around you that are like-minded entrepreneurs and you've found yourself a supportive community, it then means that you've got opportunities for collaborations and joint ventures. You reduce that feeling of isolation and loneliness, and your productivity, it's been proven, by the way, it's actually been proven statistically that your productivity and motivation through peer support and accountability during co-working phases increases by 95%. I'll just pause for a moment. 95%, that's huge. And of course, when you are working within a community of co-working space, you've got access to resources and expertise from a diverse network. And again, it creates deeper connections, understanding of your business, and generates those leads as well. So the third strategy is brainstorm and masterminding. All right, so masterminding, as we know, can be a very expensive activity. You know, you would be spending $25,000 to be in a high-level mastermind, upwards $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, especially in this online space. And the problem with that is that most entrepreneurs are not at that level yet. They will be, but they're not at that level yet. So if you can find a situation where you've got a group of people that you can brainstorm with, it enables you to develop new ideas and solutions to any of your business challenges. So the business challenges are things like automating your tasks, things like generating new leads. The challenges could be, I want to do a challenge, how do I go about it? It also enables you to have greater creativity and innovative thinking. And by actually brainstorming and masterminding, which is a two-way street. So it's not, if you find a situation where you are working with like-minded entrepreneurs who bring to the table a question or a query or a challenge or an idea, and then you get given a whole bucket full of answers and you can contribute as well. In your contribution And in your asking the questions, people get to know you. And that means they will want to do business with you. So it does improve overall communication and your teamwork skills, and it reduces the risk of becoming stuck in a rut or stale in any of your approaches, because you'll always be on the pulse. And again, when done with a community, it creates that connection and communication, and ultimately the leads and referrals. And of course, any of these people that you are collaborating with, that you're talking to, will ultimately end up going onto your email list. So I'm going to give you like a bonus strategy here, and that's networking. So networking, with most of what I've covered here, you might have heard of, but you may not have experienced it that much. Networking, you probably have experienced more of this. So networking is an opportunity to connect with potential clients, collaborators, and mentors. However, I would never do networking in isolation of those others. The reason for that is that networking almost is like you drop into a room, you kind of verbalize what you do, and you might have kind of like a bit of a catchy 15-second elevator pitch, and 9 times out of 10, people do not really understand what it is that you do until they've heard it at least 9 to 12 times. So they need to hear your elevator pitch 9 to 12 times before they understand exactly what it is that you do. It gives you access to industry insights and trends, and it provides opportunities for learning and skill development. And it is the ability to build trust and long-term relationships with key contacts. But only, once again, if it's done consistently. If you drop in to a networking event, say like once a month, then it's probably not going to build that know, like, and trust factor, because you'll probably get a whole group of different people on there anyway. So when done with a community again and consistently, it creates connection and communication and the new leads. All right, let's have a look. I find any co-working masterminding I've done have given a lot of my time and advice with little in return for myself. That's a really good point, Jen, and I'm going to address that actually. I love that idea, community rather than coaching container. Yeah, I covered that one. All righty, so any questions at all? And now it's your turn. So share with me in the chat if you have used any of these strategies that I've listed out of the co-working, the brainstorming. I mean, Jen, you've just said about the brainstorming part, and I will address that for you. How often have you done, and which ones out of those few that I've listed? So pop that in the chat for me. And while you're actually putting it in the chat, I will go ahead and I will carry on with the presentation, and then I shall check it in a moment. All right, so what, if any of those methods do you use, and how often? Now, if you are building your business only using social media, then you will end up feeling like giving up eventually. And I don't want that for you. I really, really don't. One of the most important things as a communicator, I said to you right at the top of the presentation, is I'm a Gemini, I'm a communicator, I'm an informer, I'm a connector. I love collaborating with individuals. And I really, really wholeheartedly, from my heart, believe in people being heard and being appreciated, being listened to, and being supported. And not only do I want to be supported, I want to provide that support for others as well. That is why I would like to invite you to join a community of female entrepreneurs who want what you have, and they want to share what they have very, very openly, without judgment, and only done with support and kindness. And would you be open to finding out more? Because I'm going to share it with you now. And there is nothing else like this online. This is a new organization that's been set up, and I want to share a story with you as well. While you're looking at the information here, I'm going to share you a quick story. So I joined the Our League Virtual Hub back in April of last year. It was a new setup, and I joined it as a kind of tester of what was happening. And I'll explain to you exactly what happens here in a moment. So I joined it and I thought,
okay, this is quite cool. I like this idea. And then I was encouraged to come in as a member. So I came in as a member, and I then, from being a member, I became what's known as a host. And I hosted about 3 out of the 70 plus events that we hold every single month. Now, here's the interesting part of the story. I didn't do so much posting on social media. I found that I had started to do less on social media because what I was finding is as the membership grew, I was connecting on a much deeper level. I was having proper conversations with people. I was sharing my knowledge and they were sharing theirs. And I'd like to address one of the things that you'd said there, Jane, about you've often shared more of your knowledge than you've got back in return. And I've been in that situation as well. And that sometimes puts me off of being involved in, say, networking events or masterminding. Because I've got many, many years of experience. And I do love to share. Don't get me wrong, I do love to share, but sometimes I can end up giving so much energy and then get off these calls and go, oh, cracky. Do you know what? I didn't even ask the question that I wanted to ask. But what we've done is we've set up an environment where it's actually done in a very strategic way, where we mastermind and we answer the questions of the individuals that are there. So it is an opportunity to actually get real clarity on what it is that you're asking. And I'll explain to you a bit more because I wanted to carry on with my story first. So I ended up hosting 3 out of the 3 events a week. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 different events every month out of the 70 events that were available. And I became known as one of the hosts, and I hosted 3 different types of events, which I'll explain to you in a moment. Then what ended up happening is the person that founded the company approached me and they said, I'd really like to work with you. And I didn't know at what capacity or anything like that. And anyway, we had a number of different conversations. And to cut a long story short, what ended up happening is I became the COO of our League Virtual Hub. So I'm now very, very intrinsically involved in this community. And my mission and our mission is to grow a community where we've got a group of female entrepreneurs, and it's grown to a huge community already. We've got a group of entrepreneurs, thousands of entrepreneurs that are able to come into virtual events and explain to you what those virtual events are. They come to private virtual co-working spaces, which are filled with skilled entrepreneurs. And these entrepreneurs are at different levels. There are startups. There are people that have been in business for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. There are people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and would you believe their 70s as well. So we have a real vast range of female entrepreneurs, predominantly. We do have some guys as well, but predominantly female entrepreneurs. We host power hours, which are Monday through Thursday. These are your co-working spaces. When you come onto a co-working space, they're done like a Pomodoro. Do you know what a Pomodoro is? Where you set the time for 25 minutes. We work on either assignments that are given or specific tasks that you want to work on. We have networking events. That's not our core. We have 2 on a Tuesday and Wednesday every single week. And we also have the brainstorming sessions, which is the equivalent to a 25K mastermind. So I'm going to explain that to you as well. There is also a private Facebook chat that enables you to get immediate feedback on something that you're working on. So let's just say, for example, you're working on a landing page and you say to the group, anybody got a chance to have a look at this? You put the link in and people go and have a look at it and give you their feedback. We've got a community of support and accountability, which has proven to amplify results, like I say, by 95%. And we now, which is very, very new, we actually have developed a new concierge service that actually shows you exactly how it all works,
but we find out about your business in order that we can actually connect you and match you with your ideal client. So I'm interested to join. Daniela, fantastic. Let me give you the link because I think this would be a good time to give you the link. So there's the link for you. And let me just explain to you each of the different events that we have. So first of all, we have our mastermind, or we like to call it brainstorming. And this is your opportunity to bring your questions, your ideas, your dilemmas about your business, and you leave with a bucket full of ideas. So Jen, one of the things that you were saying there is that you often give your expertise and your knowledge. What we've done is we've structured it in such a way that no one person ends up being the sort of the one expert. The whole idea is that we actually, when people come onto the event, it's a kind of first come, first serve basis. And because we've got several events over the week, they're never, ever too packed, full of people. They last for about an hour to an hour and a half. And you can attend one every single week, or you can just attend one when you want to. And honestly, we sometimes roll about laughing. We've had so many TED Talks created on these mastermind events. It's just been crazy ridiculous. We had a lady that came on. She had an idea for a business. She didn't really know how to approach it. And she ended up getting a whole bucket full of ideas. And she was crying at the end of it. And she was in tears. And she was saying, you know, I knew that if I wanted a coach, I would have had to have paid tens of thousands for this. And the knowledge that was shared with her was immense. And the whole idea is that there's no wrong answer, there's no right answer. You just get some ideas and you've got things that you can try out as a business owner. So whether it's working on your landing page, your website, the latest marketing trends, who your ideal audience is, how to grow your mindset even. Now, being part of this mastermind of successful entrepreneurs, like I say, there's actually newbies, there's people that have been in business for a long time, there's 6- and 7-figure business owners involved in our community as well. And often you'll find myself and my business partner on there offering our expertise as well, because we just love to be there. All right, so the next session that we have is accountability and productivity. This is our co-working sessions. So now that you've got the answers to your issues, your challenges, whatever it is that you're working on, you can declare your goals on our accountability call, which happens every single Monday. And you declare your goals, you declare your action steps, and you are accountable. Now, the accountability call is only for half an hour. It's a quick fire. Let's do this. Let's get it done. Let's know exactly what we're going to be doing. And now once you've declared what it is that you're going to be doing, we will help you get those tasks done by providing you with virtual co-working spaces that actually keep you motivated, focused, and enthusiastic to tick those tasks off the never-ending to-do list. And we like to call it a to-done list. We tick the items. We actually write the items down when we've done them. So on the actual co-working sessions, we do a crazy thing right at the beginning. We have like a 2-minute crazy blast of music where you decide on the 3 main tasks that you want to accomplish during the session. And then out of those 3 tasks that you want to actually do, we set the timer for 25 minutes. You can either work on your own task or you can have an assignment given to you. So if you're particularly keen on lead generation, we might say, okay, spend the next half an hour engaging in groups, or spend the next half an hour creating a long form story post, something like that. So we will give you something to do, or you can work on your own tasks. I've got it set up for my training with my clients. Okay, thank you. That's Jen. She had to go. Okay. All right. So any questions so far? I have actually put the link to the membership itself and would love for you to join us. So generating leads through connection is our networking events. We have, I think it's about at the moment 2 or 3. Let me think, 1, 2, 3. I think 3 networking events during the week. Now, when I say 70 plus events, you don't have to attend all 70 events. The reason that there are so many events is because we are trying to set up events that are, our ultimate goal is to have 24/7 events that actually account for everybody in each different time zone. And then those events, as the membership grows, we are expanding on, and we're expanding on. We've got our training, we've got our sponsorships, we've got our featured members as well. So there's a number of things that we've got. We do a networking session where people can then, bring themselves to the networking session and talk to the members. And again, because you come on consistently and we've got the chat to support you, that means that you are really, really getting to know people on a deeper level. It's not just it's not just to come into the room, give your 15-second elevator pitch and then disappear, and people have just been in a whirlwind of who you are. They actually know you. And what we found, one of our members, for instance, she started her membership, and literally within about 3 different sessions she had gained 3 clients that equated to $15,000 from the other members that were actually that are in the Our League hub. So that's just one person. We've got Jamie. Jamie actually is a coach who it was new to the coaching arena, and she lacked a lot of confidence. And honestly, if I could show you, like those pictures of before and after, I wish I had a picture of her before and after where she looked very shy. She didn't want to come on the screen. She was a bit intimidated by it. But we are such a nice group of people. If I say so myself, we actually treat everybody with such kindness. The love oozes through the screen, as it were. And we really help people through that particular process. And now she's just blooming and blossoming, and she's become one of our key hosts as well. So if you would like to join us, join the Our League Virtual Hub. It's $69 per month, or you can pay for 12 months at $690, which obviously saves you 2 months. Now, in addition, you will also get access to my signature course, which is called the Audience Growth Academy. The Audience Growth Academy is about growing your email list. Now, many of you will probably already have your freebie or your lead magnet, but it does take you through creating your lead magnet. It takes you through setting up your email service provider, what type of emails you should send, how often you should send them, and what different marketing strategies you can use. And of course, when you've got that set up in conjunction with the Our League, it means that you've then got people that you can talk to and grow your list with. And for those of you that aspire to be a digital nomad or a location independent entrepreneur, I've also thrown in the Digital Nomads Academy, which teaches you everything from travel hacks to live-in hacks to digital nomad visas to remote working, virtual working, passive income. There's a lot there, and it's just a bonus. It's just a bonus that I've put in there for you as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what is available. So I'll just get rid of that. So this is the Our League, and most of our clients are business coaches, consultants, network marketers, course providers, online business owners, digital nomads, and remote workers. And like I say, it's mainly female entrepreneurs, but that said, we do actually have a few guys there as well. All right, so do you have any questions as I'm talking through this? And this is part of our community. It does enable you to be more productive and create more connections. And, the nice thing is that we do have a lot of fun along the way as well. The Our League Virtual Hub will make you really feel like part of a community. You can reach your goals, you can mastermind when you're stuck, you can feel supported and create connections with new leads. So I'll let you read those testimonials when you're ready. And just imagine for a second if you're able to generate those consistent leads for your business with ease and grace and no icky sales techniques. So you've got the link that will actually take you to the, let me just make sure. Can you actually see that link? Would you let me know? Ah, there we are. Now you've got it. Now you've got it. There's the link that will take you to this page that I'm showing you. And you can have a read through it. And you will also have the join button there as well. So like I say, we actually provide mastermind sessions, accountability and co-working sessions. And it is your opportunity to generate leads through networking as well. And all of the sessions are your opportunity to connect with others. So when you're actually connecting through the power hours, through the masterminds and through the networking, it means that people get to know you better. And like I say, what will happen is once you've decided whether you want to pay for the monthly subscription or you want to pay in full, here's your buttons to get started now. What will happen is you'll receive an email. That email will then notify me that you've joined, and then I will be sending you another email that enables you to book onto your concierge service. Your concierge service will explain to you exactly when the meetings are, how to access a Google Calendar. The Google Calendar can be integrated with your own Google Calendar, and all of the links for all of the events are in the Google Calendar as well. The concierge service, not only does it inform you of where everything is, but we also find out more about you and we recommend some connections. We also book you into a one-on-one session with our concierge manager, and she will actually do a little bit of, again, discovering exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve and who the best people are for you to connect with. She's our kind of matchmaker, as it were, our matchmaking service. So again, that's Geraldine, who's one of our members. And, you know, the networking events, we do it with a slight twist. We have a bit of fun with it. What we do is we actually choose a topic and we discuss that. We get to know one another, and sometimes we've been in tears of joy and sometimes we've been in sad tears as well. But either way, it's always good tears. It's always good tears. All right, so join the hourly virtual hub for $69 a month or the $690 for the whole year, whatever suits you best. And that's me. I'm Sunny Love, and I work in collaboration with my business partner, Sydney Namberg, and she is actually the founder of our league, and I am absolutely delighted that she decided that she wanted to bring me in as her business partner, because it's one of the best things I'm doing. So the bonus is actually worth $997, and you can see there are the modules there that enable you to identify your value, what your value is, what you're bringing to the table, and who your perfect customer profile is. Module 2 will be creating your must-have lead magnet, and module 3 will be understanding setting up your automated email system. Module 4, creating and optimizing your landing pages, and module 5, how to write emails that will keep your audience engaged and ready to buy. And module 6 is marketing strategies to grow your audience. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually enabling that to come out one module a month. And the reason for that is that one of the things that I found with students generally on any course, I've done it myself, is that I'll pay for the course and I'll not actually get through to it because I don't have enough time to implement. So if you do one module, then you come onto your co-working time and you actually can do the work that's needed to get done on that particular module. All right, so, and there is another little bonus, it's launch and leverage. So if you do want to go through a full-blown launch, there it is, that's available to you as well. That's a value of $397. Now, if you are thinking about it, do give it a shot. Remember, you can cancel anytime if you're on the monthly payment. So I can't see the link, but I have the website. So Daniela, did you see the link after all that I put in there for you?
because that gives you access to everything here. That gives you access to the Digital Nomads Academy, also gives you access to the Audience Growth Academy, and I'm also throwing in the Social Media Content Planning Masterclass that I ran a few months ago, I think before Christmas, and the 90-day Planning for Maximum Profits Mastermind. And there's a whole resource library that's available to you as well. So join the Hourly Virtual Hub for $69. And do you have any questions? Let's see. Sure did, yes. Yay, Daniela, I'm so pleased. That's brilliant. I'm absolutely delighted that you've joined us. Fantastic. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, this chat does take a while to come through. I'm using Webinar Jam. I'm just doing an experiment to see how this one works in comparison to others. So Daniela, I'm absolutely delighted that you're in, and I will see you in the membership itself. So I want to say just quickly, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for giving your time to be here, find out more about what we do. And you'll see that once you're in the membership, there are lots of other opportunities that come up for you as well. So if there's anything that you need, do reach out to me and let me know. My email is sunny@hourleague.com. So just send that off to me and I will see you very, very soon. And I'll just check for a second if there's any questions at all. I don't think there is. I don't think there are any more questions. So I hope this has been of use to you. Let's actually take off the screen sharing. I hope this has been of use to you, and I really look forward to seeing you. And Daniela, sounds great. Thank you. Thank you again for participating. Thank you for being here. I'll see you all again soon. It's nice to see you, Jen. I know, Jen, you had to go. Salira, good to see you as well. Let's see who else was here. Fathamal, great to see you. Kirsten, good to see you as well. And I will see you all in the membership. So thank you very much for being here and take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.